Hi everybody, Shirley back here on God's team. Yay! I decided to go in the backyard and enjoy that with you today. I wanted to tell you about some cool adventures that I had in Latin America. I went down there to work in an orphanage and just got to show you some of the kids. They have major trouble down there with grandparents getting murdered and kids being abandoned, and so there were hundreds of kids in this orphanage, and I just felt like God was saying, okay, Honduras is your first place. So I went there to work and landed. Tegucigalpa was closed down, and so I landed in San Pedro Sula and stayed in a hostel there. I love it because people from all over the world are there. You get to talk to people from Africa and Europe and excuse me, Australia and all over. It's cool. So after spending the night there, I caught a bus and went out to Tegucigalpa. I decided, since I had to spend one more night in a hotel there after I checked in, that I would just go exploring a little bit. So I headed out. Pretty soon I met a boy about 13 years old that wanted to help me see the sights. And I said, sure. So he took me around quite a bit, up one street, down another, around the block. And we probably traveled for about 45 minutes. And then he wanted to head out. So I gave him a little money for his efforts and appreciated it and thought, okay, I better get back to the hotel. But wait a minute, where's the hotel? I'm not sure. The thing about down in that area is you can't say go to 4th and James or 2nd and Stewart. There are no street signs at all. So I just had to try to find it from memory. And then I thought, oh, bonkers here. I should have written down the name of the hotel. I couldn't remember it. But I thought, well, I'll find it. So I went out looking. Again, up one street, down another, around several blocks. It started to get dark. And, well, not really dark, but at least approaching dusk. And I noticed a little change in some of the vendors' attitudes, the guys, where before they used to just say, okay, buy this, buy this. Not anymore. They were closing up shop and kind of leering at me. It made me feel pretty uncomfortable. Not just one, but several people of the guys. Now I need, excuse me, I need to put a little insert here. I thought I was in Tegucigalpa. That's where the bus said it was taking me, but it wasn't. It was across the river in a place called Comayuguela. And I didn't know this at the time, but it turns out in Central America, Comayuguela is the highest rated place for murder and rape and robbery. And here I was, with all these guys looking at me, and I was lost. So I just thought, I better keep looking. So I kept looking, no luck. And then I started getting scared. It was a pretty fearful situation. But then I thought, no way, I'm not going to be scared. I'm going to trust God. So I said, Lord, please show me where my hotel is. I'm not going to let fear get to me. I'm just going to trust you. And then took a deep breath and kept walking. About 30 steps, and then I looked up. There's my hotel. God had brought me right to it. By the way, the name of it was Mary and Joseph Hotel. Pretty apropos there. Maria y Josefa Hotel. Well, the next day I caught my, I met up with the other people. Excuse my voice today, it's a little off, but I met up with some of my other volunteers that were going to be working. and we headed out in a taxi and got to the orphanage. It was just so fun. I got to be in charge of the special needs children, and we had great times. Mostly they just kind of sat around before, but I wasn't going to let them do that. We learned colors. I learned Spanish. They learned English, and just all kinds of things. One day we decided to go down looking for crawdads. And I don't know if we found any, but the thing I remember mostly, besides that they had fun, is that we were climbing up the bank afterwards, and my hand kind of went in some of the foliage, and all of a sudden, ow! Oh man, a spider bit me. I couldn't find the spider or even see it, but it hurt. So my fingers started swelling up. I thought, oh, I don't know what kind of spiders are around here in Central America that are pretty likely poisonous. So I thought, well, maybe there's a doctor around. There wasn't. No phones. The internet was out. A dentist, the closest thing I could come. So I asked him about it. He didn't know. So I did what I should have done at the very beginning. I just said, Lord, I need help. This thing's really swollen up. It's hurting. It might be poisonous, could be hazardous to my life. Please just neutralize any poison that's in me and take care of me. And he did. Pretty soon, the swelling went down, and I was fine. A couple days later, I decided to go out for a walk. I was with the kids most of the time with all the things that we were learning and doing together. But I decided to get out for a walk. I went and visited the pigs. They raise pigs there for the kids. And they eat them mixed in the meat with their rice and give them some protein. But there was a trail there, and I decided to follow it, kind of out in the woods. And pretty soon the trail disappeared, and it was just woods. And then, all of a sudden, in front of me is a cow, and not just a cow. It was a Brahma, and it had these big horns sticking out. And it was looking at me, and I was looking at it. I thought, oh man, I've heard about Brahmas. They can come and just massacre you. So I quickly hid behind a tree. The tree was about this big, and I was this big. So it might not have done too much good, but it felt a little better. But again, I prayed, Lord, please let that Brahma just want to eat its weeds and not me. And then I just gradually backed up and backed up and backed up. And that's what it did. It just ate its weeds, and I was able to get away. So those are just some of the cool things where God rescued me in a place where I was not where there's medical help. In a place like that, you don't really need medical help, you need God. And he was the one that rescued me from the evil men and from the spider and from the Brahma. The next time I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my adventures with the children, and then heading out of the same place, Tegucigalpa and Comayuguela, in a mercado where it was, again, pretty scary, but God just came through. I just wanted to tell you something that I learned from this. When I got home, I just thought, I really learned something. I learned that God always comes through for me and for you, always. He doesn't just leave us out there in messes. He never lets us down. So just remember that if you're in any situation, Latin America or here, things don't always turn out just the way we'd like, but he always promises to work everything out for good to those who love God, that are called according to his purpose. So I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.